In today's rebuild, we take our talents to Norway to rebuild a second division team who have actually won the top flight 9 times. Yes, today we are rebuilding Fredrikstad, which I believe I'm saying correctly, the Norwegian side in the second tier. So if we dive into the game, you can see we are the manager of this club, and if we go into their history and go into their overview, as you can see, they are 9-time winners of the Norwegian top flight. However, I will say they haven't won a title since 1960, and they now find themselves on 1961, and they now find themselves in the second division of Norwegian football. So we have a big challenge on our hands today. Obviously, our goal is to basically see how far we can take this team. I'd love to win another title inside this 5 years. However, that's kind of handcuffing us a little bit because we do have to get ourselves promoted first. So we need a tactic to get ourselves promoted, and this is the one. I've not used this one for quite a long time. This is 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪's goal getter. It is his 4-2-4 tactic with the 2 high wingers, the 2 strikers, and I just think this could be a little bit of fun up in Norway. I'm enjoying the Scandinavian rebuild so far. We've done a couple up there and I'm really enjoying them, so this is yet another one that we can go in. Now, I will say I don't know too much about these players obviously in real world, but we've got a couple players here. This fullback here, he can play on both sides. We've also got another fullback on the other side, a Swedish guy. Again, looks quite solid. Again, I'm not going to butcher any of these guys' names. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 looks like a nice little player for us. 25 years of age, 6'3" goalkeeper. Probably our best player in the team, maybe? Or is it Mr. Julius Magnusson? Yeah, it's this guy. He's 23, isn't it? Julius Magnusson is our best player in the team. He used to play for Viking Reykjavik, which is cool, up in Iceland. So we've got an interesting team. Obviously, the 4-2-4 is going to hopefully power us to glory. If we go and take a look at the competitions, obviously, we do have the second division and we do have the cup as well. So fingers crossed we can kind of push forward. The board just wants us to be competitive in the cup and reach the playoff in this league, if we have a look at the rules, you can see we have the league, then there's a playoff. The top 6 qualify for the semi-finals, so they want us to finish somewhere between 3rd and 6th, whereas the top 2 just get automatically promoted. That would be much easier. If we take a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 5th. There are 2 teams that are relegated as well. We were predicted to finish in 5th, which would put us in one of those playoff positions, but let's hope 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪's goal getter can fire us to a promotion. Let's simulate the first season and see how we get on. And fire us to promotion it most certainly did. We had a little bit of a wobble at the start of the season, but we are promoted back to the Norwegian top flight. You can see on your screen we finished top. We were 5 points clear of 𝘼𝙗𝙪, the team in 2nd, and then Start, who did finish in 3rd. They also got promoted via the playoffs as well, so the top 3 teams in the division in the league format got themselves promoted back to the top flight. In the cup, we actually got to the quarterfinal stage where we were ultimately knocked out by Bodø Glimt, which is no mean, like, you can kind of understand. Bodø Glimt are a very good team in Norway. The final was between Viking and Molde, and Molde picked up that title 1-0 in that final. But massive shout out to this guy, 𝘼𝙗𝙪, scored all sorts of goals for us. 36 goals in 27 appearances in all competitions. He wants a new deal, and I think with form like that, you're probably going to get it, pal. He's 27 years of age, 6'1", looks like a good goal scorer, a bit of a target forward, 29 goals in the league in 22 appearances. I don't think you can argue with that, to be perfectly honest, which does mean we get promoted back into the top flight, and now we have some money to spend. We are in negative money in terms of our overall balance. We are in the red there, but our wage budget is over doubled, which is really nice. Got 231,000 in that transfer budget as well. If I slide it around, I could go up to 1.6 million, or I can go up to about 50k a week in the wages. If we have a look, we've got a little bit of net debt there, 1.3 million. I don't know what the prize money's like in Norway, so that's going to be an interesting advantage, or interesting thing to see how we get on. But obviously, looking at our league form, we kind of bossed it in the league. So let's get through the summer, or let's get through the summer. It's actually the winter window. Let's go through the winter window and see how we get on and what players we can bring in for season number 2. Okay, guys, so we tried to get some of our business done as early as humanly possible to get ourselves ready for the season. Now, if you can see in the top right-hand corner, the season actually starts on the 9th of April. Very, very difficult. So if we do qualify for some sort of continental competition, this is going to be a problem. If we look at some of the players that we managed to pick up, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 was picked up last season, so I'm not going to touch on him too much. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 was picked up as well to play as a defensive midfielder. Obviously, this is the 4-2-4. It uses 2 defensive midfielders, and 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 can definitely be one of those players. He came into the club on a free transfer. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙤𝙪 is another one who can play on the right-hand side as his primary position, but will probably be deployed as on the left-hand side and maybe even as a striker if we need him to. 24 years of age, 5'7". He is a winger, relatively nippy in terms of his 15 pace and 12 acceleration as well. Harmeet Singh comes in as a player again in that defensive midfield position. You can see pretty well rounded for that level. He is a bit more of a veteran though, 32 years of age, but they do say you'll never win stuff with kids, so you definitely do need some of these veterans in your squad to get yourselves over the line. We spent 75k on this guy here. Daniel 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 is how I'm going to butcher his name. He is a centre-back by trade. He's only 6 foot, but I think he could be a good little prospect for us. I say prospect, he's 28, but that's still 4 years younger than me. So yeah, looks like a good little player. And then we spent 400k on this man. He is 21 years of age. He is a Norwegian player. He's 6'1" as a centre-back. Looks really, really good. I'm quite happy with him. Sondre Fonjes Hansen. Yeah, I've definitely butchered that, haven't I? But yes, looks like a very good player. Looks like a very good step up from where we were in terms of our defensive capabilities. We've had a couple players go out. These 5 have all left on loan, and last season in the last section we had a guy here who we sold for 12k. This older centre-back, we've sold him, replaced him with someone 400k, but definitely much more potential in there. So if we take a look at the team going into season number 2, of course we are still sticking with the goal getter, and if we have a look at the quick pick of our best 11, this is the lineup as things stand right now. I think the top 2, Alba and Lima, are ready to see what we can do in terms of firing us to glory. 21 years of age on this guy as well. Looks like a nice little player for us. This combo, I'm hoping, can really do the business. I'm happy with the team as things stand, so we are going to try and push ourselves into contention. The board expectation in the cup again is to be competitive. We enter in that first round here, which is going to be good. Obviously we got to the quarterfinal last season. I'd be ecstatic with another quarterfinal finish. And in terms of the league, the board expects us to avoid relegation. Now if we have a look at the league, we're all going to learn at the same time, so we need to avoid the 14th spot. So we need to go higher than 14th, which is okay. I'm okay with this. And then if you go into the playoff, the losing team is relegated. Yeah, there you go. The losing team's relegated if it's us, if we finish in this playoff here. But we don't want to worry about that. I'm hoping we can kind of fire our way past that. If we go into the season preview, we are predicted to finish stone dead last. 1,000 to 1 to win the division, and 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 are the big favourites, which is no real surprise. So we are going to simulate season number 2 and see if we can avoid the drop in Norway. So it turns out 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗's goal getter is still a bit of a beast. This is the first time we've given it a massive run on this match engine, on the latest version, and things have gone very, very well. In terms of the Norwegian League, we've actually finished in 5th, and we will qualify for the Europa Conference League. Yes, I said it was going to be difficult if we did qualify for a continental competition, and we've done just that. Bodø Glimt are the top team in the country. They do win the title. Odds Viking and a team that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce round off the top 4, and then we finish in 5th. We're quite a ways behind the top, I'd say the rest of them, to be honest. Definitely the top 2. So we still have some work to do, but the main goal was avoid relegation, and we definitely did that. If we go, we were also knocked out, in the second round of the cup, which is devastating for me, but the board said be competitive, which I think they're kind of happy with if we go into the club vision. Yeah, basically untouchable. Clearly the right manager for the job, as you can kind of see there. We've been absolutely flying, to be honest. If we go onto the home screen and take a look, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 is our top goal scorer yet again. 21 in 31 this time. Not as good as last season, but that is a good progression from being a step up in the division. Looks like a good player still. Has done really well, was also our highest average rating as well, which is really, really nice to see. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, the signing, coming in with 14 assists as well. Looks like a nice little player. He's done a very good job. 14 assists and 2 goals for him in the competitions there. So we're finishing the season on the 4th of December, just in time for Christmas, and I need to go shopping, and on my wish list is a whole new team. We are now £3 million in the overall balance and £3 million in net debt. We're getting a bank loan, but it just seems to just not be going anywhere. Our wage budget is doubled almost again. We're going from 24k up to 48k as we enter the Europa Conference League. Now, obviously, we're not going to be in the Conference League this season. It would have already gone or be active in real life, so we're going to have to wait until halfway through the next season before we get into the Conference League. So that's going to be interesting to see what we can do, but we're going to be a Conference League team, so it's going to be interesting to see what sort of players we can attract for season number 3. Okay, so transfer update for season number 3, and to be honest, there's not really a great deal that I can actually bring to you because we've only signed one player. So that is 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩, who comes in to be our new option in central midfield. Seems relatively well-rounded, can also play in the wing. He's actually good in a couple of positions, so it gives us several options here. He's more likely going to play on the wing, to be honest, actually, despite being a natural there, because this formation, again, as I mentioned, 2 CDMs, he's not he's unconvincing there, so I think he's going to be a right wing option for us. Good crossing, good dribbling, good first touch as well. Solid passing is kind of what you want. I'd love to see if this guy could play wing back, because I think he's probably more suited to being a wing back than a winger. Yeah, defensive winger, I could see that for him. But looks like a good little player. Obviously, we need a couple of improvements in these positions, especially with the step up into the Conference League as well. Obviously, you can see these 3 players have gone out on loan, and we've had a lot of other players go out on loan throughout the course of this. So, yeah, lots of players bouncing in and around. I will say, if we go into the transfer centre, we are trying to bring in some of these players, which are obviously part of our youth intake, and some of these look like decent little players. Obviously, you can see these ones here. If any of them get into the first team, I'll let you guys know. Of course, if we go into the competitions, actually, sorry, let's go into the tactics tab first of all, and I'll show you what the team's going to look like going into season number 3. Doesn't really change at all. Obviously, we did only add the 1 player, so I'm not expecting it to change too much, but the team is looking pretty solid. We did pretty well last season. Let's see how we actually deal with having a few more players and a few more games, because obviously we will have that Conference League coming in. It doesn't show on the competitions tab just yet because it's March. The actual Conference League is still going for the current season for everybody else in Europe, but we're about to start season number 3 in Norway. The board wants us to avoid relegation again in the league, and if we have a look at the season preview, we're now 800-1, so we're not the best team in the division by a long shot, but we're not the worst team anymore. So that's the main goal going into season number 3. I just want to keep and maintain where we are. Conference League again would be fantastic, and also maybe have some European games to kind of cancel out some of that debt. That would be fantastic. Let's see what season 3 has to bring. So season 3 actually saw us progress, which was really nice to see. We did progress. However, the Conference League was not kind to us at all. If you take a look on the screen, you can see our competitions tab. We finished in 3rd this time around, meaning we qualify for the Conference League yet again in the league. We've actually closed the gap just a touch. We are now only 12 points behind the winners, which were again Bodo Glimt. If we take a look at the Conference League though, the board just wanted us to be competitive in that. We got to the 2nd qualifying round where we came up against Galatasaray, who beat us 4-2 on aggregate, as you can see here. Losing 3-1 in Turkey was the problem. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 still bagging goals for the boys, but Yilmaz, Sergio Oliveira and Yusuf Demir, of all players, absolute former FM wonder kid, scored the goals in Turkey. We got annihilated, to be honest. We didn't deserve to win the game, and they go through, and annoyingly we go out, which is kind of, you know, is what it is. But in terms of everything though, we're progressing in the league. We finished higher up this season than we did last season, so the progression has been really, really nice. We qualify again for the Conference League next season. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙈 continues to just score goals. 29 years of age now in 2024, and he's gone absolutely stroke for stroke. He's been absolutely fantastic. 29 in the first season, 21 in the second season, 22 in the third season, average well over a 7 in all competitions. The guy is absolutely killing it for us, and yeah, he's just smashing it. Obviously he's not going to get a shout to play for Norway because Haaland, but yeah, I think he's done really, really well for us. If we go on the home screen, he was our top goal scorer, highest average rating as well. Another 14 assists for the man, the 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙈. He's absolutely smashed it as well. Still no caps for Nigeria for him, but I think if he keeps plugging away, maybe he could get there. I don't know, but the team's looking pretty good. I'm happy with the progression. If we even finish second next season, that would be a Europa League spot, which is going to be interesting. Still £3 million worth of overall debt, which is devastating for us. I really want to try and clear that. And we've got around basically our own wage budget again. If we slide it across 32k in wage budget, committed spend of 30k, I have a feeling this is going to be quite a slow transfer window. Let's see what we can do though for season number 4. So transfers then for season number 4, and we've been wheeling and dealing. We've been Harry Redknapping as much as we possibly can. We've got 3 players in on free transfers, so let's talk about them. Erling Segberg comes in as a first option for us, a defensive midfielder. He looks very good. You can sort of see the types of players that we're going after now. A vast improvement in some of these areas. He looks very good. £1,900 a week, 6 foot, 27 years of age. Looks like a good player, looks like a good addition to the team. We've also picked up Andreas, I'm not gonna Skovgaard, let's say, another good central defender, 28 years of age this time, not on the younger side, which is really, really nice. High positioning as well, which makes him a very good positional player for us. 13 jump and reach, 6'1". I'd like to think he could score a couple headers as well. And then the final player, Jesper Isaacson, comes in. Again, probably another winger type player with his crossing, dribbling, first touch. And all of that good stuff. So we've got some really good additions coming in to the team. We've had several players go out on loan. As you can see, we've had this one guy sold for £1,000, and he is a bad goalkeeper, ladies and gents. He is a bad goalkeeper. And then we had another player go out for £1,000, but that was a loan fee. So there you go, guys. We're really struggling on the financial side of things up here in Norway. If we quick pick without restriction our best 11, this is how we are looking this time around. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙈 is still our top man up top, and the team's looking pretty good. I do have to say about Magnusson, Julius Magnusson, he has now finally been capped by Iceland. 2 caps for the Icelandic national team. Looks very good. 19 leadership as well, which you love to see. He is transfer listed though, because he does want to leave, because of course he does. I understand. He's transfer listed for £1 million for him. Would be absolutely exceptional. Would really, really help out this club, because as you can see, we're overspending in the wage budget. The transfer budget we've gone over. We're £2 million in the red. Selling a player like that would be absolutely massive. The board expectation in the league, as always, is to avoid that relegation. Bodo Glimt have won it the last 2 years, and they are favourites to win it again. This time around. They still got Bjorken, they've still got Patrick Berg, still got some very good players there. We are predicted to finish in 14th. We are 500 to 1, and we will have the Europa Conference League again. Hopefully we don't come up against someone like Galatasaray this time around. Fingers crossed. They also want us to be competitive in the cup. So we're going to have to see what season 4 can bring this club, because, guys, we need some money. Okay, guys, so the progression is still there. This time around in season number 4, we finished in second, guys. We are closing that gap. Bodo Glimt win their 3rd title in a row, which is devastating for everybody else in the country. But we've actually progressed. The first season we finished in 5th, 4th, and now we're up into 5th, 3rd, and now we're up into 2nd. There we go. And we're just 2 points behind Bodo Glimt as well, which is, I think we can take them. Their goal difference is 21. Our goal difference is 41. If we can tighten ourselves up so that we don't get 7 defeats throughout the course of the season, I think we'll have them next season. I'm confident of that. We got to the 4th round of the cup as well. We were knocked out by Rosenborg. Can't remember how many times they've won this title now. 26 times they've won this title. That is a lot. However, the Europa Conference League, ladies and gents, we are qualified. We've played our 6 games. We won 5 of them. We beat Udinese, a team from Serbia, a team from all over the place, basically, and we had a 1 loss against Mainz. We've done really, really well. We've got ourselves qualified for the next round. We're actually going into the knockouts. If I filter this down, just so you can have a look at specifically the Conference League, we took on FK 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, maybe from Bosnia, or Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is nice to see. We beat them comfortably, 6-0 on aggregate. Then we take on Ghent from Belgium, beat them 2-1 away, beat them 3-1 at home. CSKA Sofia beat them 4-3, and then draw 2-2. And then, as you can see, here are our games in the Conference League. The 4-3 against 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. This is a huge result, ladies and gents. They've still got Beto, they still got 𝘼𝙗𝙪, they still got unbelievable players, but they did not like it up in Norway. We win. We win 4-3. Ricky Alba and Lucas Lima with the 2 goals apiece. Absolutely smashing it for the boys. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because it's 19th of December and we don't play league games if I bring all the competitions back. Our league campaign starts in April. It's December and we're going to have Europa Conference League knockout phase games soon. You can already see we've had 2 games in December. They've both been Conference League matches. That was all we had. We only had 2 games in December and it was Conference League. So it's going to be interesting to see how this moves. But the financials still haven't improved. Our overall balance is now in the positive because, of course, being in continental competition really does help. But our transfer budget is non-existent. Our wage budget is poor. That debt is gone though. So I'm hoping if we have a good showing in the Conference League, again, maybe get through a round or 2 of the knockout fixtures, we can kind of push on and maybe get some more money. You know, you can see the types of teams that we've qualified alongside Mainz, Marseille, Basel, Manchester United, but we will obviously play one of these teams coming through the playoffs. So hopefully we get a nice favourable draw. Let's see what season number 5 can bring for this team. Okay guys, so I'm going to start on this screen. You know sometimes how it goes. The European competition funds have kicked in and we've got some cash. 1.9 million in terms of transfer budget. We've still got some money in terms of our wage budget as well, which has allowed us to be a little bit more active in the transfer market, I will say. As you can see here, we've got some bodies, we've got some players here that we've managed to bring in. Julius Magnusson has finally departed us as well. I was trying to sell him for money. He didn't go. His contract expired and he left. He joined Paris FC on a free in Ligue 2, which is a disappointing end to his stay with us. I thought he was going to be here the whole time, but he's departed, which is sad. We have had some players coming in though, so let's talk about the players that we've come in. 500k for this guy to come in as a fullback option. He can play on both sides, can play at centre back if needed, can play in defensive midfield. This guy can basically play anywhere in that defensive third. Looks like a nice little prospect. As you can see, 3-star current ability, so 500k well spent in my opinion. Ilias Solberg comes in for 1.3 million pounds. Again, this is the sort of player that we're looking for. Young, fresh Norwegian winger to come out on the right hand side. Looks like a good little prospect, and hopefully he can kind of kick on. He's got 4-star potential ability, just a 3-star current ability though, so I'm hoping he can kind of kick on from his time at his previous club, because he's not really played in abundance. When he has played, he's been all right, but now we need to give him a little bit more consistency and see how he does get on. We picked up this guy as well for free, as he's a Filipino international. You love to see it. He's got that dual citizenship, Filipino and Norwegian, but again, another fullback option, natural in both left and right fullback. High determination is what you love to see it. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Obviously he's 28 years of age, so this is just how good he is. Looks good. Nice improvement for us in that position as well on a freebie. We've had another player come in for 400k, Sebastian Jarl. Again, defensive midfielder, looks like a ball winner. You love to see it. 6'2", 26 years of age. He is an anchor. He is an anchor. That's not what he's going to be playing, but he looks like a good player for that, and you love to see the curtains as well. Then we spent 800k on this guy. Vetti looks like a good little prospect as well, coming in for us. 27 years of age. I keep calling people prospects. They're definitely not prospects. They're old. A good addition, should I say, to this team to kind of bolster some of the midfield positions that we have lost. And then the last guy is this guy, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪. I've definitely butchered this guy. This guy's name looks like a great player for us. 15 passing. I really think he can unlock defenses. Former Sunderland player, actually, that I did not know. Sunderland, then he's gone to PSG as well. Oh, sorry, hold on. He's a PSG player. He's gone to Sunderland on loan. There we go. I didn't even know. Went to Sunderland on loan, PSG, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Antwerp, back on loan to Antwerp. 2 seasons in a row, didn't play. Love it. So this is how the team is looking going into this 5th and final season. This is how the team is going. That 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 partnership up top still doing the business. We've got a nice creative midfield force now. We're looking strong at the back. Hansen has kind of developed into a nice little player for us. 16 jumping reach at 6'1". Offers us a little bit in terms of an aerial threat, which you love to see. And the team is very well balanced. There's no real standout players, but they're all just pretty good. They're all the same sort of ability level. So I'm hoping they can kind of pull together. The familiarities there with the tactic, which is good to see. But I mentioned we have Europa Conference League. As you can see, the date is the 4th of March. Conference League is coming around. It is right around the corner, and we are going to have a round of 16 tie against Pogoń from Poland. So this is going to be very interesting. I think this is winnable. I really do think this is winnable. So maybe we can get ourselves into the proper knockout stages. The quarterfinals maybe would be fantastic. If we have a look at the schedule, you can kind of see we have them. It's our first game of the season. We take on them. We take on Rosenborg. Then we take them on again in that round of 16 tie. If we have a look at the competition, so they want us to be competitive in that cup, and the board wants us to finish in mid-table, believe it or not, in the league. And if we go into the season preview and we preview it, we are now 100 to 1, guys, to get into to get that title. Sorry, 100 to 1, despite we finished second last season, is a bit harsh, I find, but hopefully we can kind of continue to overperform. We will be in the Europa League next season when that goes on, so I'll have to mix and match and show you how everything's going at the end of this season. So let's get it done and let's see how we get on in the Conference League knockout stages. Come on, boys. Okay, so this is the 5th and final season, and I'm not going to blue ball you too much. We went straight out of the Conference League in the knockout stages. I think not having football for a couple months and these being the first competitive games, or first 2 of 3 competitive games of the season, really did hurt us, because as you can see on screen, we lost 4-3 in Poland. We lost 2-1 at home. The Conference League, what could have been, eh? What could have been? Other than that, though, let's talk competitions. Let's open the competitions tab, because as you can see, we really dropped off this year. We finished in 7th, which is devastating. I usually try and finish these with a flourish, but it is what it is. Things weren't going right for us. It seems like we were relatively good in cup competition for the most part. The Europa League's going really well. 4 victories. We've beaten League of Warsaw, we've beaten Sporting, we've beaten Red Star, Astana as well. We've lost to Gladbach and FSSB, but it looks like we could well qualify for the playoffs maybe in the Europa League, which would be absolutely exceptional for a club this sort of size. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 was our top goal scorer in the league, 17 goals for our Hills, which you love to see. It's our highest goal scorer in season for the boy, which is fantastic. Bodo Glimt win their 4th in a row. It just wasn't to be. 12 defeats in the season just was not the one. If we quick pick without restriction our best 11, you can kind of see the issues that we've had. Lima gets 20, Ricky Alba gets 22, but that's a bit of a drop off. Only 11 in the league. You can kind of see his drop off, his decline this season as he's hit 31. He really did drop off, which is devastating to see. The team feels like it's pretty good still. If we take a look at some of these results for the Europa League, you can kind of see here we qualified for the Europa League. We beat this team here, Farul Constantina, who are from Romania, which you love to see. And then we take out 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, which was thanks to a 4-0 away victory, which is fantastic. Then we move in FSSB, we lose. Astana, we beat 5-0. Gladbach, we lose 2-1, with Broja scoring an 83rd minute winner for them there. But then we go over to Serbia, beat my boys Red Star. Shout out Red Star, shirts behind me. Then we beat Sporting, which is a huge result, and then we beat League of Warsaw. We will have fixtures. We still got 2 more fixtures, Atalanta and Lazio, so they're going to be tough ones, but I'm not going to be playing them. If we have a look at the finances now, we've got wage budget, we've got no transfer budget, we're in a positive in terms of our overall balance, we've got no debts and loans. You absolutely love to see it. We haven't, annoyingly, taken this club back to the top of Norwegian football, but this has been a very good challenge. Definitely a different league to work in. The financial restrictions have been a very interesting one, and ultimately I think these sorts of things are really interesting for you to see different players. You're not seeing me buy the same people every single week. If you do like the rebuilds, guys, check out this playlist. It's going to be popping up here. It's all the rebuilds that we've done on FM23 so far.